Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Skillet coming to you from X4 Foundations, episode 2 of The Accomplished Scientist. And today I am we're taking it slower. This is a very intermediate video. We're going to take it a little slow, and we're going to talk about things that we're not really going to focus on. And we kind of mentioned those last time, and you see that we're hovering around this crystal, which in the last video we did, I did, show you how you can spot crystals and then how you can identify the asteroid so you can keep on track.
Asteroid.
But this crystal is a little special. Now, okay, all right. So you find the crystal, you get to the crystal. How do you do it? Well, you have to do your manual aim for your weapons. There's a little bit of a zoom for the moon chargers, and there it's gone. And then they will float up, and there they go. Now, I'm not going to collect them yet. You just hit O, and then your magnet will drag them all to you. But I'm going to use these as an example, because not only with crystal mining can you make a lot of money, but in the last video there was a comment, and it is a very lucrative way to gain money along with crystal mining. Crystal mining is just very time intensive. It takes a lot of time to gather the crystals, because in the last video that I showed, we found the crystal. It was a purple. It's the most common crystal. They're the least sought after crystals. This crystal is going to be different. So, along with the crystals, the next way you can get money is from drops. It's a very basic form of piracy, being a vulture. And you see these? This is what you'd really look for. Now let's get out of the map real quick, because I don't want him taking my stuff. Yeah, my stuff. And I'm actually going to get up out of the seat. We do have a pilot now. He will be taking care of us. Now, things have not... It hasn't been a whole lot of time. We've done a few missions. We've gotten some rep. We've gotten some money. Right now, we sit at 9? Yeah, 9 with the Talati company. Need one more for the first promotion. But if you remember the little box, right? The little box with a little dash in it. An item drop or a wear drop. Now, those were inventory items, but you can find all sorts of things in those drops. And what you want to look for is... I thought I saw another one. Is high mining areas, which Grand Exchange in itself is a high mined area. Second Contact 7 is also a highly concentrated mining area. Argon Prime, Second Contact, Flashpoint here. These are all sectors that you can find drops. Now, if you're doing it in mining areas, you're going to find a lot of lodestone, and you're going to find unstable crystals. Unstable crystals are illegal for most of the universe, but they can still make you money. You can also use them for crafting spacesuit bombs and other things that you can find. Any of the wares and inventory items that you can get can go into something else. The craftables, the not calamari, the spacefly egg thing, the SATA drive, the SETA drive, security splicers, all sorts of things. But not only that, but also mods for your ship. You can pick up decent things to help you in the future, or to sell and make money. But for those things that you want, other than lodestone or unstable crystals, you need to go to high conflict zones. And right now we are in the base game. So high conflict zones, and this is going to be normal throughout whatever game you play. It's going to be Second Contact, True Sight, Holy Vision, Pontifex's Claim, Pious Mists, Inimus Zura, Hatikva's Choice. The Void can be, not always, but it can be a high conflict zone for the sectors right below it. So from Holy Vision, you got Faulty Logic, and then Faulty Logic goes into Anatna's Misfortune, which then goes into another sector, which then goes into the Void, and these are Xenon sectors down here. The Xenon will go north, the Xenon will go east. But one of the best high conflict zones is going to be in Second Contact, Flashpoint, and in True Sight. Because as you can see, these guys don't like each other. They don't. You can get to the bare bones of piracy, and that is taking up whatever these destroyed ships leave. Right? That's basically what piracy is. Drop your cargo. Oh, legitimate salvage. Ha ha ha. It's mine. You know, that's phase 1 of piracy. You could also do phase 2 of piracy, which is more of an asset-driven piracy. Because you can collect the drops, you can collect the wares, you can also collect it from stations. That's a little more difficult. It's not as easy, especially if you're starting out. We're not going to get into that yet. But this guy, right here, his hull is below 75%. He's ripe for bailing. You do not have to be in conflict with these ships. You can simply just ask them to bail. If the conflict, if the battle is still going on, that's a plus for you, because all that means is he's under pressure, easier chance to bail. Well, now he's repaired. But the damaged ships, if you can single them out, you might get a few, ha 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 ha, you're joking, right? You might get a few of those, but you will eventually find that they bail. If you want to do it perfect for the algorithm, right? You're going to be in a Discoverer or a ship with low hull points. Now, you don't technically have to be. My personal belief is if your fighter rank or your fight rank, all the way at the bottom, if your fight rank's high enough, I think they're just going to automatically bail for you. Once or twice that you ask. There are going to be those occasions where they're going to just have that high morale where they're not going to even think it. That's totally fine. You don't want the conflict with them. You just want them out of the ship. They don't. That's okay. You can find a new one. They might die. If a battle starts again, ask them again. You might have to get super close to them. I'm not sure if proximity really matters for the bailing, but I have found on a number of occasions that their shields were full, right? This was after a battle in Second Contact Flashpoint, where some guy was way off in the distance, and I asked, they're like, no. I got closer. He said yes. Don't know if that has anything to do with it. You can try it out. But the algorithm's basically their hull v your hull.
Found something out here.
And I swear fighter rank has something to do with it. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not 100% sure. I just know they have to be at 75% or less with their hull and, ask them a few questions. Their crew has to be pretty small for the most part. Somewhere between 4 to 1 left in the ship, depending on the size. But that's another way to make easy money, because not only can you just take the wares or the inventory items in the bare bones, the vulture piracy, but you can also ask for their ship. You can go into the asset piracy. Give me your ship. They bail, they don't. No harm, no foul. After that, an easy way to get money. Let's get back to where we are. As a loner, I was really thinking he was going to be a plunderer. An easy way is missions. And we did a mission in the last video, but how missions are, they're kind of random until you get into a war effort, the trading factions, or the trading guilds, which those missions are procedurally generated for the need of the sector or the faction. So you will get mission specific for build a station in this sector. That's because the war effort in that area might not be going as well, or maybe they have had a respite for a while and they just need a defensive station built. But for most of the missions that you do, it's going to be destroying mines, fixing satellites, fixing data leaks, and those are all over. Now, you can take a look on the map for them, or you could go to the exclamation point here, and they'll fall under other missions. And you can pick them up from there. You can read them, go through the briefing. I highly recommend you go through the briefing instead of just accept missions. There are missions that I technically have not done or avoid, and that's just me. There was this one mission once upon a time I was supposed to scan ships for illegal wares. I ended up wandering around for about 2 hours going, what am I doing? I've never accepted that mission ever again. Here's one. Mine disposal required. So destroy mines. Right? So you're going to go to a specific spot in space. You're going to destroy the mines. You're going to get the money for that. You're also going to get the ones where ships are stuck in a minefield because, I don't know, your Dratus or whatever your radar is called didn't work properly. But these missions will give you money, they will give you rep, and sometimes they can be very lucrative. Once you get into the war efforts and the faction missions and things like that, you can get building missions, and you actually might be able to find them without even that, depending on how that sector's doing. If there's a need for an ore refinery or talatoladium or silicon or microchips, you can still get those missions, and those missions pay out handsomely. It is worth you putting in the effort to pay for that station because you're going to get that back. You're never going to take a loss on a mission like that. But if you do join a war effort, let's say you join 2 war efforts. You join the Argon and you join the Pyramid. Whatever mission that you do does not affect your personal rep with that other faction. If you got a pyramid mission to destroy an Incarcatua in Argon Prime, you yourself will keep the rep that you have with Argon because you are taking up the banner for the Pyramid. You're a mercenary. You're not going to get that rep ding. So it's okay. Take the mission, get the money, get the rep. Another one that really also works out is the fleet building missions, where you'll have to deliver a fleet to an individual faction, as long as you're within that war effort. And they will pay you handsomely for that as well. There's a whole lot that you can do to make easy money. Now, the station building ones, you need to make sure that you have the blueprints. Blueprints are very expensive depending on what you want to do, so make sure you have everything before you start that mission. If you don't worry. You do have a whole lot of time before that mission, or you can cancel that mission on its own. But don't think that you have to be in a rush. Because the fixing satellites, the mine disposal, that's 70,000. That's a good, decent chunk of change. You do 3, 4 of them. You break it up with, some crystal mining or some vulture pirating. Oh, look at this guy. Where'd he go? Oh, he'd be ripe for the taking, but he's going to go land on the auxiliary ship and get repaired. You can make money, and these are easy ways to make money. But this is going to be Skillet signing out for now. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you watch it. But I'll see you guys again for episode 3.